women, maybe even older women, as to how to lock down a high value man. You know, you're getting 5,000 plus people watching you, asking these questions. What would be one of the biggest takeaway tips you could give to women in the current dating marketplace to lock down a high value guy?
Stop. Because only 10% of you are going to get it. I'm sorry. Look, look. One of the biggest, 20% of you can qualify for it. Maybe 10% of you will land it. And that's really what my show is based on. You can, I don't begrudge you wanting what you want, but are you an 8, 9, and 10? Well, actually an adjustable 6, 8, or 9 in the looks. And are you an 8, 9, or 10 in the body? If not,
move along.
This is South Beach. You don't come to South Beach if you rocking a one piece. This is two-piece town. This is a bikini town. So this high value thing has worked because it just says women are hypergamous. They want to consolidate on the highest value man possible, but that may be different. See, that's possible. What's possible for Tina is not possible for Angie, is not possible for Hillary. So now I got women finally asking themselves the question, what does the kind of man that you want from a woman?
Putting it back on them for once, huh?
Well, and that's why I'm sitting here and I'm like, and I hear when I first started talking about this same kind of concept that honestly, it's been floating around the sphere a lot, you know. I've talked about this stuff for years, but moment at time it hit. Some of my detractors like, you're so mean, you're so rude, you're so this, you that. But you know what? Women are saying, I like your delivery, I like your approach, your honesty, because what they're doing is not working.
Right.
Look on your left finger and ask yourself, are you sporting the wedding ring of a man of value? If not, it's not working.
Right.
And I would tell women, if they want a high value man, understand you have to put a lifestyle plan together for that. You have to really scrutinize yourself inside and out, head to toe. You got to be brutally honest. Then you're going to have to do something most women aren't willing to do. Develop a financial strategy to enter into the market. It costs money to live in these areas, to be around men like this.
Yes.
And you're going to have to invest, which means sacrifice. And then educate yourself. You know, if you want to be around a man who's an entrepreneur or a business owner, you have to understand the language, lingua franca of all these things, and then take action. Many women just thought it was just good enough to be pretty and have wow, and that's not enough.
Kevin, you know what's funny? We talked about this downstairs, right? There's many beautiful women here in Miami, especially in this building, right? And as you said earlier, it's because they know being in this environment is going to nurture what they want. However, they sacrifice a lot to be here. Some flew from Idaho, Texas, you name it, all to come here because one is a thriving, happy community. I want to say the word. And also because they know of affluent guys are in this building and around this area.
That's right. And that's the thing. It's like men understand that we have to be competitive. And like I said, one of the biggest things is I don't begrudge women wanting what they want. Are you willing to compete to get it? And I talk to women all the time. And I use my professional sales skills, my probing, my questioning, my ability to reframe, restate. It's all sales. And oftentimes a salesperson would blow a sale because you would assume something that was not there instead of asking a question a different way or losing your patience or getting off track. And it costs you money. So people are like, I don't know if I can have the patience. I'm like, if your money's on the line, I don't know why you better develop more patience.
Man. So Kevin, I want to ask this because, and this one, I apologize, it's not on the list, but I just had to ask this because one thing I love about your show, which I think a lot of us in here can agree, you hold both genders accountable. You hold men accountable and you hold women accountable. Let's keep it real. Most guys don't have the balls to hold women accountable. You know what I'm saying? And tell them, hey, listen, you understand that you want to deal with a top tier guy. This is what you have to do. And when I do watch your show, you ask very deliberate, controlled questions, and the women answer truthfully, and then you tell them exactly, okay, well, this is your mess up, and then they can't really there's not much they can say because you're doing it in a respectful manner, despite them sometimes being too emotional. And my question is this, because you're like, you keep it real with these women, unlike other people. I'm like, let's say Derek Jackson for one, right? You know, can you tell us a little bit about, I mean, if you want to get into it, the biggest difference between someone like yourself versus, you know, someone like Derek Jackson telling these girls what they want to hear?
Okay. Let me relate it back to business.
Yeah. Let's go.
In sales, if you're in a salesperson, there's a book called The Challenger Sale. Pick it up, read it. The Challenger Sale states that there are 5 different kinds of salesperson: relational salesperson, lone wolf, hard worker, somebody else, and a challenger. And consistently in bull markets or bear markets, and up markets or down markets, regardless as the industry or whatever, there's one kind of salesperson that continues to outperform all the others.
Mm-hmm.
And it's called the challenger. The challenger comes into the sales environment above the prospect. Now, let's imagine you guys had a multi-million-dollar business, and I'm trying to sell you guys my advertising.
Yeah.
Most people are going to come in here and, hey, man, like your jacket. Hey, buddy, what's your so forth? Blah, blah. Hey, let's take you out up to the strip club. I'm going to come in and I'm going to actually sit up higher because I'm going to learn enough about you to consult you and say, I understand last year you lost this deal to your competitor. So it's the consultative sales approach of a challenger, and a challenger salesperson does 3 things in any process. They teach, they tailor, and they take control. So when I'm talking to women, I'm teaching them something that they don't know. Okay. I tailor the message that they can understand it, and I take control. And that's why most women are kind of like receptive to the message, because no one's ever kind of framed it that way, right? Now, a lot of guys, what they'll do is they'll tell women what they want to hear, and that works to make women feel good as a placebo. But if you're a personal trainer and tell people, hey, man, eat what you want, do what you want, you know, it's not going to help your client get any better shape. And again, women are recognizing after this beer bug, they look to the right, look to the left, there's no man there. They're saying these outcomes are not working. So a guy like myself is saying something different than everybody else and showing the outcomes. My show accidentally has saved marriages. I get emails weekly. You saved my marriage. Women have called into my show saying that I'm a better wife. I'm on my husband's team. My one lady left me flat-footed. She's like, my future generations owe their lives to you.
Wow.
That's powerful.
That's serious.
I'm like, huh? And because at the end of the day, it's about outcomes. And when I held my men's event, MIT, I told guys 2 things. Guys, life happens out there and life is about people. Ladies have forgotten that men have a want and a desire in this thing. And that's what a lot of ladies are finally starting to understand, and it's working for them. So strangely enough, it's working.
Wow, man. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Like, it's rare to get that kind of, you know, a praise from them, because you're I mean, let's be honest. You're telling them the truth, the uncomfortable and unflattering realities. Hey, this is why you're single. You need to do this and do that. But I love how you kind of imply that you use the Socratic method. Ask them questions. Oh, well, I want to be a stay-at-home mom. Do you know how much it's going to take to how much it's going to cost for you to get that? You're going to need a guy that makes this much money. Who makes that kind of money? And you just let them answer the questions and come to the conclusion themselves, which is like ingenious. You know what I'm saying?
And I want to ask Kevin, right? Because we're all about being high value men here, right?
Yep.
But a lot of the audience may not really internalize what that really means.
Perfect question.
Okay.
So if anyone doesn't know, Kevin, what does it mean to be a high value male?
Okay.
Bam.
All right. So what I did is, high value is not my concept. It's been around for a long time. What I did is I sat down with some academicians, scholars, anthropologists, sociologists, reading, and I just said, who are the men across time and space, across cultures, across continents, who've always separated themselves from the pack? What are some of the things they shared in common? And then I just applied and tried to make it as simple as possible. Sales, keep it simple, stupid. 1, it starts with income. We all have heard the 3 6s: 6 figures, 6 feet, 6 pack.
Yep.
Okay, so high value in general starts. I put a number of $10,000 a month because that number, $100,000, has been with us since the 80s, 85 in particular. That's when it popped up. Didn't make it, guys. Don't shoot the messenger. And you need to make that money over a certain length of time. Guys, you know anybody can have a good year.
Yep.
Anybody,
sure.
Jeremy Lin had a couple of good games. He's not going to the Hall of Fame. 5 years is the target, but 3 years is when you're in striking distance, because that each one of these characteristics or criteria lends itself to other aspects of a man as well. Third, high value men must recognize you as their peer or potential peer.
Right.
This is why you see older guys who are up here befriending younger guys who has that look like they can do it. It's a club. It's a fraternity, because anybody will tell you once you start getting to certain levels of success, it starts to thin out a lot.
Yep.
4, it has to be what did I say? Visibility. Needs to be LinkedIn level. People have to be able to understand what you do. You're a cardiologist at Johns Hopkins. You're vice president of mergers and acquisitions at Morgan Stanley. I'm an entrepreneur. 2 of those 3 things, we at a glance know what it means. The third one requires more information. LinkedIn level, meaning that people, it needs to be visible to where people can kind of understand it. You have a Phantom, great, but if it's in the garage all the time, do you really have a Phantom? Does it really matter?
You have a dust collector.
Exactly. And the last 2 are, this is not an order of importance, but the last 2 are the most important. Network. You must have a network of other high value men and others. No one can have a network of sheer high value men. But let's say we were all 5 of us were going to sit down and do business. Let's say you had 50 million. Let's say you had 10 million, 10 million, 10 million, 10 million, and he has 50. And each one of us has a Rolodex or a network of 250 high value contacts. We all sit down and we're going to make a venture. He has twice the money, he has no contacts. It is more likely that person is going to come and leech off of our network.
Okay.
That's true.
Yep.
And he's going to try to buy his way in. And I'm sorry, we have the money, but we know that our contacts took us a lot to gain, and you're going to guard your territory because having networks of contacts is immeasurable. And this is why networks are so important. See, I'll say there's no real high value loners because a lot of times guys will try to buy their way into it, but lack the social skills. Even if you put him in contact with your network, he likely just blow our connections because he doesn't have the people skills. And lastly, utility. You must be of use to others and the group.
Bam. Yeah.
If you're of no use, I want to be used.
Yeah.
You say, Kevin, when you gonna come down, such and so forth. Okay. What good is all this high value talk if you're not going to be useful to somebody?
Yeah.
It's just self-serving bullshit. Now, I don't expect anybody to be a martyr. You're going to get something out of it, but high value is a mindset more than anything else. But you have to have these other markers because whether we like it or not, the market decides.
Yes.
Yeah.
The market
Very
decides everything. The market decided that Phantom is worth more than this, it's worth more than that. The market decides all of our relative value, and what we can do is do what we can to increase or decrease it according to the outcomes we want. And I say this to a lot of guys: don't kill yourself if you're not high valued. That's not the only way to be successful.
Yeah.
There are plenty of ways to live a fulfilled life that doesn't require all the things that I'm talking about. So I think that's one thing that's kind of got